prepping for photos is phase 1 of moving.
Yeah.
Once we go on the market, you're only going to have about 20 days to get the house completely empty. If you can't declutter in a month to get ready for photos, you would have never made the move out date.
No. But that actually brings up a great point. You cannot go into a listing and assume that everyone's biggest goal is the highest amount of money.
Not their goal here. I'm not selling my house.
Yeah, different.
So I'm not here to judge you. I'm just here to help you prep for photos.
Yeah.
So don't feel, and like I tell them that.
Yeah.
Like my house right now is not photo ready. It's not about being strict. It's about knowing that it's your job to tell them what to do, to prep their home for the market so that you can sell it so that you can get paid.
Hi, y'all. Welcome to Hustle Humbly.
We're Alissa and Katy, 2 active realtors in the Baton Rouge market. We work for 2 different companies where we should be competitors, but we have chosen community over competition.
The goal of our podcast is to encourage you to find your own way in business.
So stop comparing yourself and start embracing your strengths.
Hi, Alissa.
Hey, Katy.
Do you need a moment?
I'm okay.
Welcome to episode 357. Listing struggles.
Yeah,
I think
staging prep, photo prep.
Yeah. We already have an episode that is several actually that are pre-listing prep.
Yeah.
And specific to what's happening. This episode is a little bit more about some of the challenges that come up in this time frame.
Some mindset issues. Some
practical how to protect yourself issues.
Yeah.
Okay.
A few things.
I
guess what we're going to talk about today, I guess this is why some people script their podcasts.
Why would we want to do that?
I know, because
we have notes. Look at them. They're right here.
I know, but you know that time when you go on a listing appointment?
Yes.
But they haven't signed anything yet.
Yeah.
And they haven't committed to you, but they also want you to tell them what to do.
Yeah.
And that's going to take like an hour to walk through the whole house to do that consultation.
Yep.
And again, you don't have anything signed.
And you're giving them all your best info.
You're giving them your best info. And maybe you're even feeling like you need to hold back on some things because you don't want to upset them because you don't have anything signed.
Yep.
We're talking about that.
This is a real catch-22.
It is.
You have to provide value, but you also can't give away the farm.
Right.
So what are we going to do?
Right.
That's what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The logistics of not getting screwed.
Yeah.
But also providing your service.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we start with the question we received?
Yeah.
I'm going to start with the question.
Okay.
We received a question that said, how is Alissa strict with her sellers in getting ready for the market? Basically wanting tips on the delivery, the messaging.
Mm-hmm. And this comes naturally for me.
From the beginning, naturally?
Yeah. I've always been bossy.
Okay. And pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, sometimes I wish I could be a little softer.
A little more flowery.
And I do pride myself on being able to word things in a way that I think sometimes people, just from how we talk, think, I get in there and I'm like, your curtains are ugly. They need to come down.
No,
like I would never do that.
Right.
I would never do that. But I am firm.
Yeah.
Like, this is what we do.
Well, I think maybe we could change that to you were very professional.
Yeah.
This is what's happening in the market.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I see when I'm on other showings.
Right.
This is what happened to my sellers when they did or did not do this.
Correct.
I think that's good.
So I share stories. I explain why I'm telling you to do this. I let them know I'm not here to just do this to you. I do this to everybody. That's why I sell houses.
Can I ask this? I think maybe, let's just say you tell them what to do and they're like, but I really don't want to change that stained carpet.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I need to. What do you say then?
We will need to look at adjusting our price point.
Yeah.
Because they are not going to be okay. When the second a seller says we can offer allowances, I say, unfortunately, They don't work.
Yeah.
And I'm not beating around the bush. They don't work. Here's how it will go. Number one, the lenders don't allow the sellers to give money to the buyers under the table. That's number one. Number two, let's say replacing this carpet is $3,500. They are going to want at least $5,000.
Mm-hmm.
And by replacing the carpet, we are saving you money and it's going to help our day on market.
And make you more money.
So it's just what we need to do.
Can we just acknowledge that the staging conversation is one of the most uncomfortable things we do as listing agents?
You're standing in someone's living room, surrounded by their stuff, trying to find a diplomatic way to say, pack most of this up.
These are good clients. You want the listing, and you do not want to make it weird.
That's why we created the Staging Conversations Guide. It gives you the right words, the exact flow, and room-by-room walkthrough guidance so you can lead that conversation with confidence every single time.
There's even a pull-out one-page presentation to walk sellers through right at the listing appointment. It does a lot of the heavy lifting for you.
Sellers who actually get on board with prep, that's a listing that shows well, sells faster, and protects your reputation.
It's $97 and you can find it at hustlehumblypodcast.com/products. We got you. Okay, here's another scenario. Tell me the words you use when you show up on picture day and the seller hasn't done what you told them to do.
That's only happened once.
Okay.
Because I'll never let it happen again.
Right.
And I called the seller.
Okay.
And I said, I have canceled photos for today. I didn't realize the checklist wasn't completed.
And what did they say?
But it is complete. No, I'm going to just send you the email that I sent you of things we needed to do. And I will highlight the items on there that weren't complete for today. Let me know once you're finished and we will come back for photos. And I told myself I will never be in that position again. I will always do a walkthrough before photos.
Okay. How did that seller respond when you did they do it? Did you get the listing?
Yeah.
They were
we
like,
had paper
sorry.
signed. Yeah, you're not going anywhere.
Okay. Now we're going to get to that later. We're going to get to that later. Now, how are you avoiding it now? How do you avoid that? You're like, I'll never, because you hadn't been to the house at all until photo day. How are you avoiding that?
I go for the listing appointment
Yeah.
and I'm like, this is what, and there are houses that, like there are some that I'm like, I could photograph this today.
Yeah.
I mean, give me an hour before the photographer gets there to judge.
Sure.
But I am confident that this will be ready for photo day. And if it's not, I could work with it how it is.
Yeah.
It's the ones that are like a lot.
Like your list is long.
I'm like, when you get to this point and have done everything on this list, call me and I will come back for a final punch list before photos.
Fine tunes.
Yes.
Okay.
So sometimes it's a two-parter.
Okay.
I just did a two-parter.
Okay.
Where I went, it's a big house too, a lot of square footage. And so they had 4 children, had lived there a long time. I was a bit overwhelmed. So were they. And I was there for a long time making this list with them. And they did every single thing on my list. And I told them, once it's done, call me. I go back and it looks huge, feels awesome in there. But now all I see is scuffed up walls, dust bunnies, missing light bulbs, like
fine tune.
Yeah. Now I'm seeing
the house.
And I'm like, okay.
Before you saw the stuff.
Yes. So then I said, phase 2 will be deep cleaning, replacing all these light bulbs. I gave them there was probably like 12 items on that list.
Okay. Were they upset or they were like,
no,
okay, they were like, we were expecting this.
Yeah. The wife was like, I can't believe how much dust there is in this house. I said, I know. She's like, I've been vacuuming like crazy. I said, I believe you. So we just need to really get it like baseboards. Yeah. And I mean, you can see now that there used to be something here and it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
So we need to just fine tune. And then, and I left there and said, just let me know when this list is finished.
Yeah.
And we went for photos and it looks awesome.
Okay. I love that.
But I'm not going to schedule photos.
Okay.
When I am nervous. Now, if I feel 100% good about photos, I now have a new agent that has been shadowing me for like 2 or 3 years. she has been to photos with me enough, and I have trusted her judgment enough that, because I make my sellers leave for photo day.
Right. Okay.
I don't want you there. Sellers are nervous. They're in the way. They're trying to fluff pillows and do things. So I make them leave.
Okay.
And now my new agent assistant meets the photographer on photo day because I've already been there and I feel good about it.
Right. Okay.
And my sellers also know how to leave the house for photo day because of our template checklist. And they do. They know what to do. So now new agent goes 30 minutes before the photographer. So let's say the photographer is coming at 10:30. New agent gets there at 10, walks through, puts things in closets, zhuzhes, knows how I like the blinds, knows I need the lamps on, knows the fans need to be off, knows the toilet
little
lids.
things.
Yes. And so she preps it and does a walkthrough. And sometimes she has to do a little bit more. And sometimes she's like, this house was perfect. I didn't have to do anything.
That's nice.
So she goes first. So she saves me a trip because I've already been there twice.
Right.
So it's photo day. I now trust her judgment because she used to come with me. Now I'm like, I trust you that you go.
Right. Okay.
So all of that to say, even on photo day, I think it's important that you're there like 20 minutes before the photographer gets there.
Yeah.
To fine tune.
Yeah. The fans and the TVs and the toilet seats and all the stuff.
Hiding TV wires and little zhuzhing.
Yeah.
So
agree. Okay. That makes sense. I think you also brought up an important point that you've been there twice in every instance now. It's really hard when you first are getting that call from your seller, or in my case, I'm going to tell you a story. I got a call from a buyer.
Okay.
Referral, buyer. We have a house we will have to sell. We will want you to sell. But it's in a nice neighborhood. We've done XYZ updates. It's, we love it, but it's too small, so we need to move up. Okay, great. But everything they've described to me and what I know of the neighborhood, I'm like, oh, this will be so simple.
So lovely.
But I'm like, are you going to be a contingent buyer? And they're like, I don't know. And they go to the lender and they're like, yes, we are. And I'm like, okay, great. So we want to make sure that the house is all ready. But they keep assuring me that the house is in such great condition. Okay.
That's what they all say.
So against my better judgment, I guess, now that I'm looking back on it, I take them on the first couple of showings as buyers because they're like, we're not going to move unless we find something. This is also a tricky situation, right? We're not going to move unless we find the right thing. So we have to look, but we also have to have our house basically ready at any moment to list. Well, that's where I went wrong. I should have been like, let's go ahead and just do your pre-listing appointment. Let's go walk
photos done.
Let's see what's happening before you go look at houses. Well, don't worry. We only got a couple of houses in. And then I'm like, I need to come because they're always excited about every house. I'm like, I just need to come to your house.
Because if we find a house, you
have
can't
to be
buy
ready.
it.
Like, you have to be ready tomorrow, not like ready in a couple of weeks. Y'all, I went into this house and I was just like, there are months of work to be done.
Oh, no.
Months.
You're like, we should not have looked at any houses.
No, that was my bad. And it's fine because, when you get a referral and you don't want to lose them and you just sort of like, okay, well, and it is kind of cart before the horse.
Yeah.
You are a buyer. They were pre-approved.
Yeah, but actually, I can't do anything.
You're going to have to be a seller first. I was just like, okay, well, let me get you a list and here's all this stuff. And I'm like, you're going to have to do all of this and be prepared before we look at any more houses.
What did they say?
Okay, yeah. I don't think they realized. And look, y'all, I do not judge when I go to someone's home and they haven't prepared yet. But it was.
Because that's why we're there.
I'm like, I'm here to tell you. But it is difficult, I feel like, to really give them the list when their house is in a shambles.
So I was talking to you about how there are situations where the pre-appointment checklist hasn't, like some people love it.
Yeah.
And they want to know what to expect and is there anything we can do to prepare? And I would say 80 to 90% of the sellers that I send that list to so that they know these are things I'm going to look for, it makes the appointment so much smoother.
Yeah.
The ones that push back on that list, like, look, thank you for this, checklist, but we need you to come over.
Yeah.
I get there and I'm realizing they are so overwhelmed that my checklist is beyond this situation.
Yeah.
Like the checklist says remove personal photos.
Right.
Now, in my perfect world on this one I just went on, at first I had a bad attitude when I walked in because I literally wanted to be like, why am I here?
Yeah.
Why would you invite me to come tell you what to do when you know that this has to be done?
Yeah.
It's on the checklist I gave you that personal photos need to be put up, and you have about 1,200 in this house. So at a minimum, that should have been done. But by the end of the appointment, I had to sort of mindset and attitude check myself and say, Alissa, they needed their hand held.
Yeah, and I think that's okay. It is your function.
Yeah.
It's just you cannot assume anything about anyone.
No.
And I think that, again, cleanliness and organization are both super subjective.
Yeah.
So I don't think even, and I'm serious when I say I don't judge. Like, you can live in your house however is comfortable for you.
When I can tell my sellers are starting to feel maybe embarrassed or judged, I say, listen, if you were at my house right now, the list would be long as well, but I'm not selling my house.
Yeah, different.
So I'm not here to judge you. I'm just here to help you prep for photos.
Yeah.
So don't feel, and like I tell them that.
Yeah.
Like my house right now is not photo ready.
You know, because I think, and with my seller, I really believe it because of the way they described it to me. Sellers don't see their house through the eyes of a buyer.
Mm-mm.
They just see their house through the eyes of why they liked it and bought it, what they've done to it, all the money they've spent on it. They don't stop and think, yeah, there are a lot of dings in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know, like, they're like, no, I changed out the sink.
Yeah.
Like they're only focused on the money they put in and what they love. And that's great. I want you to love your home. But it is really hard to make a list when it feels like the list is never ending. And then I don't want to overwhelm them then.
Well, like the one I just went to, I knew, okay, they needed to hear my voice, see my face, and I needed to express how important this is.
Yes.
And that can't be communicated via an emailed checklist.
Mm-mm.
It works a lot of the time and has saved me many, many, many hours on listing appointments. But there are situations where I have showed up and said, listen, what I want you to do, pack up every personal photo, get rid of these pieces of furniture, and do this. When that's done, I'm going to come back.
Right.
And we're going to move on to phase 2.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's phase 3 and 4.
Right.
Depending on what they need, what type of personality they are.
I like the story you told us recently about the seller with the cookie jars. And it was like phase 1, just pack up the cookie jars.
Right.
That's it.
Yep.
There's a lot. It's going to take a while. Just do that.
They're fragile.
Then we'll go to phase 2.
And in those situations, I always tell my sellers, prepping for photos is phase 1 of moving.
Yeah.
Once we go on the market, you're only going to have about 20 days to get the house completely empty.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't declutter in a month to get ready for photos, you would have never made the move out date.
No.
So I say we go under contract, and then the first 10 days is the buyer's due diligence. They're having inspections. Our contract is fragile. You're not packing or moving.
Don't pack then.
I need the house show ready that day.
Yeah.
Once we're past due diligence, it's time for you to move out. But we close in like 2.5 weeks at that point, sometimes 3 weeks maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So the more you do up front, not only does it make the closing and move out process smoother, but we get to reap the financial and time benefits of the house showing better.
Right.
Because you cleaned out your closets already. You got rid of the furniture that's not coming with you.
Yeah.
You've packed your fragile items. Like the hardest part is done.
Mm-hmm.
You're living on the minimal. So now you just have to pack your stuff and move out.
Right.
But we need to do as much as we can. If you have to do it, here's the thing. You have to do it anyway. Yeah. You're moving.
If you reach your goal, you got to go.
You are moving.
Mm-hmm.
We have to do this stuff anyway.
Yeah. I think some of that comes up if you're still wanting more help with what the words are to say in the staging conversation guide that we made. It's a presentation form.
Yeah.
it tells you what to say, but it also is a leave behind here, Mr. Seller. That is on our products on our page. So hustlehumblypodcast.com. You can just go into the products tab and there's a staging conversation guide.
Yeah.
More words. Now let's talk about how do we protect ourselves though? We've gone 1, 2, however many times. They're prepping. It's taking a long time. What are we doing? One, so that we don't give it all away in our listing appointment, tell them everything to do and what the price should be, and then they just hire someone else when they're ready.
Yeah, and I've had that happen.
Or 2, they start prepping and then decide to sell it to Joe Blow, the neighbor. How are we protecting ourselves?
So as of the date of this airing in 2026, the real estate industry is under a lot of scrutiny and news coverage about coming soon and private listings and this and that, okay? So the tricky part is that before, and every market's different, okay?
Yeah.
There are rules that you have to abide by.
Yeah.
That once you have your listing agreement signed, you have X amount of days to get it into your MLS, or you can't have a air quotes pocket listing.
Right.
Those are illegal. But I always struggled before all of this because I was like, I want to get my listing document signed today. But it's obviously not ready for the market. So I just want to hold on to these papers. Not because I'm trying to be sketchy and advertise the property and double side the listing.
Right, you're just trying.
I'm just trying to protect myself. And my seller knows now that they're committed to me.
Right.
Which is so now what I'm doing, and here's the thing, guys, Alissa and Katy, we don't have the final answer for you.
No.
This is where it's going to be very broker dependent. Katy and I even chatted about making some sort of commitment letter for y'all. But then we decided we cannot overstep brokerage rules.
Yeah, I can't make forms for you.
We cannot make your forms. You need to sit with your broker and say, how can I get something signed either at the listing appointment or the day of so that I can do this consultation?
Yeah.
So here's what I've started doing.
Okay.
We walk through the house very quickly. I make notes. I'm asking questions. I'm not telling them what to do. They're just telling me about their house. We sit down at the table. We go over comps. We go over the process. And then they say, well, what do I need to do to get it ready for photos? And I then say, well, I usually begin my photo preparation consultation once you have committed to me as an agent. If you feel like you're done interviewing and you're ready to choose me as your agent, I have the listing agreement right here. We can go ahead and sign it, and then I can give you the consultation. 99% of the time, they sign it. And then I get up and we walk through the house again. But this time, I'm the one talking. And I'm making all these notes while we talk. And then when I leave, I go home, I type them all into like a pretty format checklist, and I send it to them. And we are officially under contract to be listed. In our market, once you have that form signed, you have to be in MLS within so many days. So we are allowed to then put it in our MLS as office exclusive. I don't love doing it, but I'm trying to obey the rules. But basically, I'm putting it in the MLS.
But we do now have coming soon, which we did not have before. I don't like
coming soon because that means you're like, to me, coming soon is soon.
Yeah.
Most of these people need weeks.
Yeah, a while.
Months. And that's why I feel the urgency to protect myself.
Yeah.
Because if they're going to be...
A lot can happen.
Yes. If they're going to be prepping their house, getting a pod, and they're going to be in limbo for months before we are ready for photos, I need to protect myself against a neighbor walking over and saying, my sister wants to buy your house.
Yeah.
And I get the phone call that, hey, we sold it to the neighbor.
Yeah.
Thanks, but no thanks. Sorry for all your hours of work and for all your vendor list.
Yep.
So I used to dislike office exclusive because it started your day on market. So by the time you were finally ready to go active, it looked like you'd been on the market for 95 days.
That's a long time.
Our MLS, as it sits right now, now office exclusive doesn't begin your day on market. So, and I have notes in there, hey, this is office exclusive because my clients aren't ready. Yeah. I'm obeying the rules. They're prepping the house. We're not ready for showings.
Yeah.
Then when we are ready and I have photos, I make it active.
Yeah.
We just had a chat in our Hustle Humbly community at our monthly live call where we got to hear from our community members in other markets. What are y'all doing?
Yeah.
And that kind of helped us confirm we cannot make anything for y'all.
Yeah, they're all different.
Every MLS is different. Every market is different. Every broker is different.
Yeah.
Some people are making some sort of commitment letter.
Yeah.
That they just have the seller signed for the sake of signing something. That's official.
Yes.
To where they at least feel obligated to call you if the neighbor walks over and wants to buy the house. Like, so anywho, all of that to say, I genuinely believe you need to have something get signed before you give away everything that you gave away.
For sure.
To protect yourself.
One of our agents said, I have no filter when I go to a listing appointment. I have been trying to figure out how to keep my mouth shut before they sign with me. More than once, they have hired a low-cost realtor after doing everything I told them to do and listed at the price I told them.
That's the worst when you lose a listing. And
you did all that work?
Like, you know it's not the it's like that's...
They took all your advice.
They did everything I said, and they weren't even mad about the price.
No.
They just are trying to save money elsewhere or met a family friend that just got licensed.
Yeah.
Like.
Exactly. We get so many emails from agents asking the same thing. How do I become a stronger listing agent? How do I help my sellers actually prep and tell them what they need to know before we go live?
It's one of the most common questions we hear, so we did something about it. We built an app, and it's live.
And here's what it does. It's with your seller every single day while they prep. It walks them room by room on their timeline, personalized to their actual house. Pets, kids, vacant, lived in, 2 weeks or 2 months to listing.
It's not replacing you. You are still their agent, still the expert, still the one making the big calls with them. This just holds their hand on the daily stuff so you're not the 9 p.m. text line.
And it sounds like us. Warm, no hustle, you've got this. So your seller feels coached every step and you show up stronger for the moments they actually need you.
So go check it out at studio.com/HHP.
That's studio.com/HHP. We're so proud of this one and would be a great gift for you to give your sellers. Okay, so let's talk through some of the different ways people are doing this in our community and from different places. First one, office exclusives, just like you said. They sign the listing agreement. It's not marketed to the public. Our brokerage can see it. Then theirs has a list date and a cancel date that can also be amended. So there's no signage, no advertising, no social media posts, and it can stay in that status in perpetuity.
Yeah.
For a long time, it could be office exclusive. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
In Connecticut, they said that their MLS had something they can use to delay the listing.
Okay.
So a delayed listing.
Okay.
It's interesting.
That is.
Georgia. In Georgia, we have an agreement date and a marketing commencement date.
I love that.
On the listing agreement. So good.
Like, we're officially working together as of today.
Yeah.
But we are not going to start marketing the property until this day.
Exactly.
And if this day comes and you're not ready, we'll just amend it.
Yeah. So they have the agreement date and the listing date. So if we'll be marketing in a month or less, the listing agreement's already signed.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's no dates put in, like if it's TBD and they walk, you really don't have much to hold them to. It's more the act of the seller signing and being like, yes, I'm working with you.
Yeah.
I also think you probably need to say, hey, this means that I'm your agent. So if the neighbor or someone else comes by, you can just give them my number and I'll handle it.
Any inquiries that come to your house need to. I used to feel so unprotected and nervous when sellers would post in their neighborhood Facebook group before I had anything signed.
Yes.
Like, that was the worst. But now
it's just
I'm like,
general knowledge.
Post away because they know they have to send me
Now we're a
everything.
team. Sure, advertise, but
we're a team now. Yep.
All right. In Florida, they have a temporary exclusion form. So everything gets signed at the same time with a set date of the seller's choice for when it goes live. It can be changed. So the date can change. So they can move it up or back if they need.
Yeah.
California, we have a coming soon up to 21 days to sign, but you can't show it. Mm-hmm. And then office exclusive is also an option, but only those in the office can show it.
Right.
Let's see. In Texas, she's just been thinking about getting her listing agreement signed before the photo prep walkthrough, and I guess that's allowed. In Oregon, we can sign a listing agreement with a future marketing to begin date. I hold off on giving specific details of prep, especially in writing, until they've signed. I mean, I think that's probably the smart thing to do.
I think even the act of you saying, I don't go over the to-do list until we are officially committed to each other. Mm-hmm. Just saying that lets them, I mean, you need to get something signed, but verbalizing that.
Right.
They don't even think. Like, I can't tell you how many times I gave them all that value and they had no problem throwing me to the curb.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I think the public is confused. Yeah. Maybe they think you're being paid by your broker or something and this is just a normal part of the process. But I don't think people are intentionally malicious.
No.
But they also are looking out for number one.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for your help, but I actually found a discount broker and I don't really need any advice because I already got all that from you.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's...
And guess whose fault that is? Yours, not theirs.
Yours.
How did you run your business?
They're just savvy consumers.
I know.
Right?
This is really about running your business.
Like a business.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do Colorado because this is our friend who had the commitment to sell form.
Oh, okay.
Okay, they can sign a listing agreement with a date that has the home will be marketed in the future. Okay. And then she just puts TBD most of the time, and then they amend to the final date when they know. Okay?
Yeah.
But then she has them sign a commitment to sell form.
Okay.
Okay.
Here's broker.
I don't know if it's a brokerage form.
Okay.
But I'm guessing the broker is aware of it because this is in Colorado. This is basically what it says. It states the property address, the goal marketing date, list price, which sometimes they put TBD, and the compensation. And then this letter is to provide, this is what it says. And then it says this. This letter is to provide my notice of intent to sell the above referenced property using this agent as my contracted real estate agent. I understand the required listing paperwork will be sent to me via email within 48 hours for completion. By signing this letter, I am committing to listing my home with blank at blank company and can begin the listing process by scheduling professional photography.
Yeah, I love that.
But it's just like, hey, and her listing docs weren't even coming a long time from then. It was literally like, you want me to stay here for that extra hour and tell you what to do? Mm-hmm. Commitment to sell form.
Right now.
I'm going to work with you. And now we can start working.
Yeah.
It's like, I have to tell you I'm paying for your service before you start giving me the service.
This is why I feel like in today's day and age, your relationship with your broker is so important. You need to have a broker that cares about you, looks out for you, will brainstorm with you, will help you create a form that they are comfortable with. We don't want y'all going rogue and creating all these forms that your broker doesn't approve of or doesn't actually protect you.
Right.
So and the ways of doing the early signing on the listing docs is, as we speak, evolving.
Yeah.
Like the rules and the regulations are changing daily, constantly. Mm-hmm. So making sure that you and your broker are on the same page, you need to go sit with your broker and say, hey, this is what I'm thinking. I have got to get something signed before I spend hours helping people prep their home.
Yeah.
So can you help me figure out how do I word this? What do you want it to look like?
But to be honest, I think that even what you said earlier, even if you don't have a form, even if you don't have an option to fill in early dates or whatever, people in the listing appointment are afraid to ask if you're interviewing other agents, to just point blank say, do you want to work together? If they want to pick your brain and get all the information, you should not feel uncomfortable saying, yeah, I'm happy to spend this hour walking through the house with you. I just want to make sure that you've decided we are going to work together.
Yeah, this is a commitment.
Like listing agreement I will send to you soon. But if you don't have an option for them to sign something today, are you at least even saying it?
You at least need to explain to them that by proceeding with photo prep, We are moving into the next phase.
The part where I'm providing the service that I charge for.
If you're one of those flowchart people with the little boxes of things that happens next, make sure that there is a distinction between the listing interview and then once you have committed, we move into photo prep. Photo prep and listing interview is not combined.
Yeah.
And we need to be delivering that.
It's a really important distinction.
Like there's a hard line.
Yeah. We can talk about what it's like to list, and then we can start doing the listing process.
Yes.
These are two different things.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about protecting ourselves and the expenses that we put out on listings, whether they list or not. I thought this was an interesting part of this conversation. So maybe we figured out a way to protect ourselves, with them to actually sign the listing.
Yeah.
But what about all the money that you spend on the front end?
Yeah.
And I have never had it. I don't even think our automatic listing agreement does not have blanks for like reimbursable expenses.
No. No.
Or a cancellation fee.
No, we don't have that here.
But I have heard of other brokerages having it. It's just they had their own listing agreement created.
Yes.
They weren't using like the board one.
Correct.
And it would have a cancellation fee. And I've always kind of used that though with my sellers, especially when they're a little antsy. Don't worry, there's no fee to cancel. But now I'm like, worry, there is a fee to cancel.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what that could do. Okay, so one of our friends in Texas said they can have reimbursable expenses if the agreement is canceled. You can just do an amendment to the listing and change the dates, so whether it's listed at a certain time. But there's a way you just write in. If this is canceled, these are the reimbursable expenses. Of course, this is everyone's story. One agent told us, I once sold a house with an agent that stated if I walked away, I was to pay the $500 for photos.
Wow.
Like, okay.
If you cancel early before this list date, you got
to pay me for the photos. In Florida, their contract has all hard expenses are to be reimbursed, and there is a blank for a cancellation fee as well. That is the agent's choice.
Have you had many issues with active listings just canceling?
I mean, not lately, but
I can't even think of.
Have I ever had a seller withdraw? For sure.
And it was usually for reasons I agreed with, or
I don't think a lot of them were like, I got fired and they were going to immediately list with someone else.
No, I don't think I've had that happen.
But I have had it happen where it either expired or maybe a year later or whatever. They never sold. And then they get a new agent, because it's always your fault.
Right.
And then the new agent starts using your photos in the listing, or better behavior is calls and asks for the photos and be like, I'm not going to give you the photos because I paid for them, but you can pay me a discounted rate for the photos.
Yeah.
I'm already out the money. Now, if the seller had paid for the photos when they canceled, then I just send them the photos and be like, do with them what you will.
Yeah.
I didn't have that experience, but.
Now, if a listing expires, that's just part of real estate business. It happens, and sometimes you don't get your money back.
Right.
Which is honestly why before you take a listing, you're telling them what to do. You are prepping, you are setting yourself up for the highest level of success possible.
Right, because if you don't sell your home, I don't get paid.
Yes. If you want your money, but if you know, well, I mean, even if it doesn't sell, I get my money back at least. Like, where's the motivation?
That's not a business plan.
It's almost like you want the thought of it expiring to help you find your voice.
Yeah.
To tell them what you need to tell them.
In Minnesota, there is an option to have a retainer fee. But it basically, you're paying me a retainer.
Yeah.
To start, which I thought was interesting. Here's a great story. I had a listing, not me, a listener. They wanted to list way over the property value. In spite of providing extensive data to prove they were overpricing, I agreed to list their home for their price if they agreed to pay for all media, which was $540. They did not get their price. They got what I told them the value was. But at least it protected the agent.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm going to lay out my dollars and time and you're not going to take my advice on the price.
That's like the very difficult builder I had who wanted me to do all the crazy things to market the home.
Yeah.
And we had showings. The marketing was working, but same feedback. The bushes are dead. The upstairs needs painted. The carpet needs to be replaced over and over and over. And he called me one day and was like, I want you to go to the hospitals and pass out these flyers for the doctor. I said, sir.
Respectfully, no.
I'm not doing anything else.
Yeah.
I have exhausted all marketing efforts. The ball is in your court.
Yes.
It is your turn. When you replace your bushes, replace the carpet and paint, I will resume extra marketing. Until that time, it's in the MLS. If somebody wants to make a showing, they can. But I am not exhausting any more of my time or money until you address these items. We're all done. And because I was thinking to myself, what's he going to do? Fire me?
You're not
We have an agreement.
Well, right.
Like, I'm not letting you out. So, and it was almost like that's what he needed to hear. And he took care of it. And we got it sold. And I'm just like, I think that goes back to the advice. I had a new agent call me yesterday with a situation about a tricky seller. And I just had to keep pausing her and saying, I don't care how he said it. I just need to know what he said. Tell me the facts. I think I'm turning into Connie.
You're like, I just need the facts.
Because that's what Connie used to do to me. If you went in upset, she's like, and you would say something like, I just feel like, no, I don't know.
What are the facts?
What happened? Tell me what happened, because I can't help you with your feelings. I can only help you with what happened. But I told the agent, okay, this is what you need to say. This is what you do. And she was like, how do you do that? I said, you just have to know your stuff and be confident.
Yeah.
And she said, when I'm direct, it comes off as rude. And I'm like, well, I guess that just takes practice. I mean, here's one thing I will say. You are not going to get better at real estate, at delivery, at talking to buyers, at talking to sellers if you're not immersed in it.
Yeah.
I can't teach you how to say everything the right way. But just you listening to this podcast and hearing us talk it out changes your mindset and how you think. Are you going to your office meetings? Are you doing open houses where you practice talking to strangers and buyers and sellers?
Yeah.
Maybe the open house never made you $1 and you never sold a house from an open house. But did you learn how to talk to people? Did you hear the questions that buyers are asking? Hear things they say about houses? So that
did you even just listen to what the feedback they had about the house you were in?
Yeah.
And then they notice.
And then when you go on your very first listing appointment, you can say, listen, I was in an open house last week and every buyer that came through the house commented on the carpet.
Yeah.
That lets me know this is a big deal to buyers. We must replace your carpet. Yeah. So all the agents out there that are just wishing and begging that they could talk to people and find their voice, it comes with experience, being present in real estate, putting in the work, practicing, working on your mindset. If you're constantly telling yourself, I'm not good at this, I can't talk to people that way, you're not.
Yeah.
You are what you say you are.
100%.
And so that's where when she was like, how's Alissa so strict? I need help. It's not about being strict. It's about knowing that it's your job to tell them what to do, to prep their home for the market so that you can sell it so that you can get paid.
Yeah.
If you can't, telling them what to do is the first domino. If you want to make it to the end and get paid, don't skip out on the very first thing.
Yeah. And I also like to keep going back to the number while they're doing that. Oh, well, do I have to paint this bathroom? And I'll be like, no, you don't have to paint this bathroom. But I told you that the house in best condition for the market is worth $350. If we start backing away from best condition, we just have to change the price. Do you want it to be $340?
So I had years ago, 4 years ago, I went on a listing interview.
Okay.
And it was an older man and his son arranged the interview so that I could meet his dad. And the son is also 50. Okay.
Okay.
So I go on the listing interview at that time, and we're like, the market's good, and I'm thinking,
I don't like where this is going one bit.
It's an interesting story. 370, 375 price.
Okay.
I give them homework, and Son was very transparent that this is a very hard move for Dad. Just the fact that you're here, we're not ready. I'm easing him into this. Okay. I have to move him to Texas with me. I don't even know. I just thank you for coming. Mm-hmm. This is the first step of what I needed to do. I said, I totally understand. And good news, I have other business to keep me afloat.
Not waiting for you.
I will be here when you're ready. Mm-hmm. Years go by, and I kept in touch, and I would send them neighborhood sales, but it's been 4 years.
Okay.
They called me in October of 2025.
Okay.
And said, we're ready. The house is vacant, air quotes. Dad is in Texas. The house is all yours. I go by.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I'm like,
no.
I mean, Dad took what he wanted from the house, but the house is not vacant. Mm-hmm. I could barely make it through the front door because the sago palms are monstrous, like huge. Mm-hmm. There's so much exterior wood rot. We needed to paint. The drapes needed to come down. I'm like, okay, we are still. So I said, I made all my notes. I went by myself because they're now in Texas. I made all my notes, and I said, here's the thing. I'm going to send you the listing paperwork, but I said, I need to get estimates. The listing paperwork I sent you has a price of $350 because that's what the market is today for the homes that are in good condition. We're not in good condition yet. I need to get estimates on landscaping, a fence, a painter, carpet, and a deep cleaner. I will get all 5 of those estimates. But before I do anything or send you the list, here's the listing paperwork. They sign it. I put it in as office exclusive. Nobody really sees it. I'm just trying to prep this house and protect myself while I do it. Mm-hmm. By the end of December, I had all the estimates. I had a game plan sent to them, and I'm just waiting on approval. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, hey, Dad really doesn't want to do any of this. So can we just list it? I said, no. I said, I can't even get to the front door. So at a minimum, we need to do the landscaping. If we're not painting, power washing, doing anything else, are you okay listing at $315 and being expected to drop that price? Because even though that's a good price for the neighborhood, buyers don't want to do things. Mm-hmm. They said yes.
They listed it for $315?
Yes.
They were like, we don't want to deal with it.
They did the landscaping, which was $1,500.
Okay.
Because it was so overgrown. And it's not painted. I had plans to stage it, do all my stuff. I did get all those estimates.
You have them.
And they were like, Dad doesn't want to do it. I said, Dad doesn't have to do it, but the price is $315 now. And they were like, all right, well, let's do it.
And the price 4 years ago was $375.
Yes.
So it had already lost $25,000 just in the market problem.
Just in the market.
And then they didn't want to get it ready.
Correct.
And did you list it?
Mm-hmm.
And did it sell?
It's freshly listed.
Oh, so it's a newbie.
Newbie, yeah.
For $315. Mm-hmm. And are they happy?
I think they just are like, we can't deal with this right now.
That's fair.
I think that they have bigger problems.
But that actually brings up a great point. You cannot go into a listing and assume that everyone's biggest goal is the highest amount of money.
Not their goal here.
So you, at the time when you did it, it's fine, but you didn't even need to give all the staging advice and prep because they were like, it doesn't matter. We don't want to pay for it.
And that's what was crazy to me is I thought they would just be, because the money didn't seem to be, I'm like, they would be happy to just write the check as long as I handle it because time was more important to them.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but all the estimates you got, what did they add up to?
It came out to about maybe $12,000.
Okay.
To write the check. So,
they're willing to lose $20,000
And I think we're going to be dropping that price because the condition right now doesn't invite full price offers at all.
Yeah.
So I just think we're going to be dropping.
Wow.
And I can't have been more clear. I can't have been more clear.
Look, it was $12,000 of work and they immediately started at $35,000 off of what it could have listed for.
Yes.
So more than twice what the work would have cost.
Yeah. I almost was like, I mean, heck, I'll buy it from you for $250.
Then I'll do this stuff.
It's a great house in a good neighborhood, but they won't go to $250, of course. But in my head, I'm just thinking like, this is a shame, but that's where they are. And I'm curious to see after we have showings and feedback.
Yeah.
Do they change their tune? I don't know.
But you haven't had any showings yet.
No, it just went active.
Oh God, I want to know the rest of the story.
Oh no.
Okay, we'll come back to this.
Yeah.
A different day.
Because I do have a feeling they're not going to like the offers that we get. And I'm going to have to say, I understand. And I have done my best to send you pictures and videos of what it looks like here, but you're not here. I am. Well, and I see how it looks.
Then you'll just have feedback from the market.
This is the feedback. This offer is the feedback, or this lack of offer is the feedback.
Wow.
So
crazy.
I know.
Anything else on protecting yourself, getting people to listen? That was a good story, though, for people who were like, no, we're not going to do it.
Yeah, that's fine, but you're not going to have the same price.
Yeah, you're not required to do it.
That listing price of $350 was if you did your homework.
You must compensate. Remember the 3 things, right? Price, location, condition.
Yeah.
You have to get 2 right. If the condition isn't going to be right, the price is the only thing you can adjust.
Right.
Because the location is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Seeing the landscaping done made me want to keep going.
Because you're like, we're so close.
I'm like, it looks so much better.
Wait, I'm actually glad that you said that. Because when you were talking about, I guess, our friend who was like, how do you get strict with them? Or how do you deliver the message? I also am really encouraging with them. Like, you're going to love how it looks.
Yes.
Like, just like what you're saying. When you see it after this, you're going to not want to move. You're going to love it.
You're not going to believe your photos.
I can't wait to see the before and after. Like, you're going to be so excited. I think if you lean into that excited before after vibe, then they will, because they will anyway get there. They'll be like, I can't believe how much better it looks. Mm-hmm. That's usually the reaction.
Right.
They're not going to be like, oh, I wish it still looked like garbage. You know? Like,
I wish I could bring all my junk back in here.
I loved having all that clutter everywhere.
Yeah.
They don't do that.
They've never done that.
They never have done that.
I can't tell you how many times I send them the photos and they go, wow, I'd buy it.
Not the same house.
It's not the same.
It's not the same house.
It's not the same house at all.
Yeah. Which also makes me laugh when you do the book photos for their like closing gift. Because I'm like, how accurate is it even? Like, that's not how they lived in it.
So listen how funny this is. I just had a closing where I was the second listing agent. Mm-hmm. And I knew the first listing agent. Mm-hmm. And it was fine. Like, we got the house sold.
Yeah.
I wanted to make a photo book. But when I listed it, I made them take down their drapes. I made them do all this stuff. I had it professionally staged.
Right.
The furniture there wasn't even their furniture.
Yeah.
So I thought, and they lived in this house
for a long time.
For like 35 years.
Yeah.
So I knew these listing photos aren't going to mean as much in a book to them.
Right, because it's staged.
It's staged.
It's not their house.
So I emailed the listing agent and said, hey, I'm actually closing that house. Uh-huh. And I was going to see if you would, I'm making them a book.
Yeah.
I was going to see if you would share your photos.
Because his photos had their stuff.
All their stuff in it. And it was like, making that photo book, I was going, no wonder, like, this didn't sell.
Did you give them the book?
I gave them the book and I put both sets of photos in it.
Okay.
I said, and it was funny because it started with the staged photos. And I give them the book at the closing table and I say, look, I know this house was very special to you and I just wanted you to remember it. And they open it and they see the beautiful photography and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so sweet. Thank you. I said, keep going, keep scrolling, keep flipping the page. And then they get to the old photos and they're like, oh my God. And I'm like, what? And she's like, we had so much stuff. I said, this was meant to make you feel
like nostalgic.
Happy.
Yeah.
She's like,
She did not feel happy?
No.
I'm so glad you put the good pictures first.
I know.
Because I would have put the nostalgic photos first.
I thought I would get her at the end like, oh, this is so sweet.
She was like,
why did I have that rocking horse there? And I was like, I don't know. That's why I made you take it down. Like,
that's hilarious.
Yeah. It's like the process had broken her emotional tie to the house because it was on the market so long.
Right.
But I said, well, this will be good for your grandkids to remember and your kids. And she's like, I know. I was like, this is how you live.
That's the house.
You know, this is what it looks like lived in. She's like, I know. And I love it. Thank you so much.
She was like, but what was I thinking?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I was like, ew. Not the reaction I thought, but I kind of liked it.
She was happy with your result regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think that's all for today. Mm-hmm. I didn't bring a toast.
No toast today. Y'all can email us a toast if you have someone you want to shout out to or thank. Mm-hmm. Not us, but, you know, a mentor that you have or someone that taught you how to stage a house or anything like that. We would love it. It's team at hustlehumblypodcast.com.
That's it.
Send us who you would like to toast.
Okay, bye. Bye, guys.
Wait, before you go, if you enjoyed this episode and if we brought you value, take a minute to rate the show, leave a review, or drop a comment.
We are giving away our best stuff for free. Find it at hustlehumblypodcast.com/freebies.
We'd also love to see you in Hustle Humbly community. Join us there at hustlehumblypodcast.com/membership.
We love chatting with you in our DMs. Find us on social media at Hustle Humbly Podcast and say hello.
If you have an episode topic or someone you'd like to toast on the show, please email us at team@hustlehumblypodcast.com.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Hustle Humbly Podcast. See you next week.